But I'm glad you're doing well. Like, I'm so happy to
Yes.
have you on here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Creativity and creative people are like, to me, on the front lines of our culture. Like first and foremost. Like for me,
Uh,
like creativity is like one of those things that it was like that. It's like pure. It's like this pure expression of like our humanity.
yeah,
And I love it because everyone's perspective is different. And so everyone's creative art is going to be a reflection of like their whole experience. And
yeah,
that is something that I think is like, if you're trying to figure out like what is someone's authentic voice, just look at how they express themselves and you'll see it.
very
Like
much.
it speaks just like volumes to who we are as people. And it was funny because like I was just literally, my boyfriend was like, he was like, oh, like everyone's creative, but a lot of people just don't have the confidence to believe in their creative voice. And I'm curious for you, as someone that really, I think, exudes creativity in like everything that you do, how did you go about sort of like cultivating your creative voice and like being able to kind of create this space for yourself where you felt like no matter the medium, you had this confidence to kind of just go out there and do whatever it is that you wanted to do with your take and just knew that it was going to be fabulous because it's you, you know? Like,
Honestly, this is a question I recently got asked. Like somebody really asked me, like, where does my creativity come from, and what's like my main inspiration. And honestly, like I pull a lot of inspiration from like the digital era. Like I'm highly inspired by like everything like we did like when we were younger online, like the Tumblr and like Pinterest and everything just really like social media, especially now, like really inspires me a lot. But then also just living honestly, like experiences and people I meet. Like I'm highly inspired by my friends and like my family and stuff. So like I pull a lot of inspiration from just like life in general. But I always was like super proud, like happy to be surrounded by people that like always were like supportive of my art and never questioned my stuff and always were like 100% behind me. So I guess just pulling inspiration by from those people and then just living and experiencing stuff and obviously Rihanna also. But like yeah, those are the reasons that I really like get to do where I feel like I can be the person that I am and just be fully authentic, because then the people I'm around also like embrace that and embrace me just for being me and not push it away or tell me, yeah, you should change for this or follow society or anything in that direction.
no, I feel you. I feel you. I agree. I Tumblr is like my mood board for life. Like if
All
there is
day.
one place that I feel like I visualize like my future and like what
Yep.
it is that I'm striving towards, it's my Tumblr and my
Yep.
Pinterest boards. Like hardcore, I feel like our generation
100%.
at least is like 100% we're Tumblr babies and like
All
people that don't
day.
understand that like like the I
All
love that you
day.
were like all about that digital era because that's 100% like as a techie, like I
Yep.
love like my whole like just awe about the world was built on like
On
just growing
Tumblr.
up with technology, growing up with like the internet and like how it created this space of like all of these different vibes, especially like in the
Yeah.
2000s, 2010s, your Frank Ocean, your Lana Del Rey, you know,
Yes.
like that like speaks
Yes.
to my soul in so many
I live
ways
for
that it's
it.
just like but I feel you. Riri is out here cultivating the path
Oh,
for us
I'm
Caribbean
so.
people.
She's
I
such
feel
like a
like
major inspiration.
oh, facts. Like I feel like she proved how valuable our voice is as Caribbean people
Yes, and
and
people
how
don't get that.
marketable it is. Like how
People just see her
badly
just being amazing and think, "Oh yeah, I just came to her." But like as a Caribbean person, this
like
is
this is in our
so
blood.
inspirational.
Like
Yes,
this
like
is literally
exactly.
in our blood. Like I'm like, St.
Yep.
Martin, wake up, bro. Cause I'm like, we
Exactly.
we got tons of Rihanna's. Just invest in the
Give them the
people.
space.
Exactly. Exactly. I guess like how has growing up in St. Martin influenced your creative voice? Because I know like St. Martin was like where you first got into dance and that was like, it was dance like also your initial like first steps into the
Um,
creative world on St. Martin?
Actually, no. When I was like about 6 or 7, maybe, I was like really, really like obsessed with like Tekken, this fighting game on PS2. And one of my cousins actually did capoeira, and I was obsessed with this fighter called Chrissy Montero, and I was like, I really want to learn this because she was like super flexible, and she did like a lot of tricks and stuff. So I was like, oh, I really want to learn this. So then I started capoeira, and then like probably like 2011, I met Janelle, and then she was like, "Oh, you're super flexible. Like, I want to dance with you." And I was like, I'm not really a dancer, but okay, let's just do it." And then from 2011, like I fell in love with dance, and then from like around 2018, around 2018, 19 is when I was like, I really want to branch out into like creative direction, production, and behind the scenes work and photography because like I wanted to create my own visuals and really put what my own message is out. And now I'm just combining all of them together, and it feels really good to like really have a platform to do that.
That's so interesting. I feel like capoeira was definitely one of those things in like because I don't know if it's as prominent now on the island as it was
Yeah.
like while we were like teenagers, but I'm
Yep.
curious like how was it learning capoeira on the island? Because I feel like that was definitely something that was a beautiful like public expedition every time that you guys would be like in Front Street just
Yeah.
doing the damn thing and people would just be like, ooh, ah, like oh, like it's a dance, like it's like this movement of the body that I think is like so
Yes.
beautiful. And dance, like yeah, it seems like such a natural thing to go into because it's all about like this movement and this being able to just
Yep.
like create these forms with our physical body that has this deep resonance with other people when they watch it. Like it's so
Yeah.
interesting.
But like honestly, like learning capoeira was really like especially because it was something I loved. I really, really was like, yes, this is something I need to like put all my effort and everything into. And then also with Tyrone being like one of the best teachers ever and also being like inspired by like Damie and Kim and just like people who also were like there, they just pushed me to like want to be so much better and like because seeing them just be so like talented and push it and then doing it so effortlessly, I was like, I love this. I just want to be just like them. So I always like anything I step into, I always put like 100% in. I never want to go 50-50 because then it's a passion and you really want to like let everybody like also like share that love and feel that love that you have for it.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I guess like so then how does I think being a St. Martiner influence sort of your unique perspective? Because you said, you have like this vision that you're trying to manifest through your creative arts. How does growing up on that island where we're I think we're exposed to so many different cultures which come with it like all of this beautiful representation of their artistic expression. How does that sort of influence like your taste, I guess, or just like your
This
what
is
is it that you wanna create? Yeah.
I was recently like this is crazy because like you're asking all these questions that I like just recently like faced with myself and this is so good because that like that means we're having a connection and I love it. But
Yeah.
like yeah, this question I was like because I was having this like crisis in myself and because I was born in Curacao, but I was raised in Sint Maarten and like I was in between, but like my mother is from Sint Maarten and my dad is from Curacao, and I was like, where do I really get like my inspiration when it comes to like culture and what is the main core of it? And recently I was like, it's all like in the I love the waves, I love the beach, I love just being able to walk outside and you hear different music and you hear so much different you experience so much different cultures on St. Martin in like one walk. It's like insane. So like I realized that my main inspiration with this and just being from the island is this how I try to like incorporate as much as not as much as possible, but I like to like work with collages. Realize like the my main connection to Tim Martin is the fact that I was exposed to so much different cultures and people and languages and it was like so much to me that when I came here that when like people were being left out or like excluded for stuff, it felt so like unnatural because for me, I always like embraced everybody for being different. I always like give every wanted to give people spaces and yeah, I feel like it's just yeah, more than just wanting to just share and show this type of like culture and the mixes of it. It was like always gonna be my number one thing to have.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I agree, like, you could literally just walk anywhere in Front Street and you'll already be exposed to,
Yeah.
like, the world just in that little lap, and I
Yep.
agree, like, moving abroad, You take that for granted
Yep.
for sure. And I agree. It is definitely hard for me when people are exclusive because it's just like opposite to my way of being. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, this just does not, I'm like, I don't understand. Like, how can you have these ideas that exclude people? I'm like, I cannot. It just does not compute. I'm like, error machine down. I cannot. I'm like, I cannot. I'm like, are you a human? I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, what is going on here? But I'm curious, like moving from capoeira, which I think like St. Martin is a very like masculine
Very
dominant,
much.
society. And then going to dance, which is more of like a feminine form of movement. I'm curious like how was that as a guy kind of moving in that transition and just kind of wanting to experience things and flow with it. Cause I know like St. Martin, especially with males in dance, they're always like, but like why though? Like
Yeah,
why
very
why
much
he like
is.
why he want to do that? Like why like that's not manly.
Yeah,
Like why would you want to be a dancer? Even though dancers, male dancers especially, are carrying like the brunt of
very
like all the
much.
strength, you know? I'm curious like how did you go about like navigating that and just like being true to who you were when there are, people that are ignorant that have like this very skewed perception of
Of
like
it,
what
yeah.
male dancers are like.
Like honestly, like I said before, like um I'm so like crazy grateful for my support system because like they never made me feel like because of whatever people think and whatever like it's different or it's weird to be like trying something feminine or being able to wear specific colors or whatever. Nobody ever made me feel as if it was against the norm. They just really embraced everything for me. So like being able to pursue like dance and stuff, I I never really felt I felt the pressure from myself because I was like still trying to like find like the balance between my masculinity and then femininity, but then still not like want to be too feminine because then people start to talk a lot. But then I was like, if my own people who I really like, if I care about their opinions and they really embrace me for whoever I am and whatever I do, I was like, well, I'm just gonna push it to 100 because this is nothing is gonna stop me now because the people who I love and care about always supported me in it. So I just felt like this was my calling and I needed to do it.
Yeah, I feel that. I think support
Yeah.
is so priceless that I don't think people realize. And that to me is like the essence of like human connection is like having this community that allows you to just thrive and helps you
Yep.
work through your ish, no matter what it is. And knowing that like you have that like unconditional love, I think is so, so priceless. And yeah, that's so awesome that you had that. I'm curious, like, how did your mom support help you in like your artistic journey? Because I know you guys are very close and we love moms on this
Yes, we
podcast,
do all day,
obviously.
every day.
Moms are our queens,
Moms are
we have to,
queens.
and they do so much. And like, honestly, like all the moms of all the people that I've interviewed, like, are all the reason that the
Amazing.
people are like as awesome as they are. So I'm curious, like, how your mom, because I know like how close you guys are,
Yeah.
how she helped kind of give you that fire and that, confidence to just go out and just be who you are.
Honestly, like, first of all, shout out to all the dance moms, especially on the island. Like, it's a tough job. And like we be having to like perform and run and then you still have to deal with so much other stuff. So like first of all, shout out to all of them. But like honestly, my mom was always about like sharing and being good and like if I have a craft or whatever, push all of my like love and passion and everything into it because like she always wanted us to be better than ourselves in the sense of like she wouldn't get upset if like I got a bad grade or whatever. She would ask me like why is it this situation? Like what do you need? And she honestly like she was tough in the best way possible. Like I never had any sort of like I never thought of it to be like negatively because like she just wanted the best for us. So it was always like okay we got to go to this rehearsal so you got to sleep, you got to eat. And back then I was like no but I want to party, you know what, I want to do this. But like I saw it as oh my gosh she doesn't want me to go out. But in the end of it it was honestly for the best because now I'm tired and I'm like yeah I really should have listened to her. But yeah she really like always like was there for me and told me like you just gotta like if you really want this for yourself go for it. She never questioned me like because I know a lot of people like don't believe like dance is a career or anything creative is gonna get you anywhere. But the minute I told her like, yeah, I just want to dance or whatever, she was like, okay, if you feel like this is what you want, what do we need to do to help you like to reach to that goal? And from since day one until now, she's been there supporting me every way, and I'm 100% grateful for that. And I wish, and also not only for me, but she's also been there for like all of my friends, and she also helped them with everything possible. Because like anytime I bring a friend, she just takes them like as their own child, her own child, and I love that. So I just really wish I could like share her with everybody, so that everybody could like get this experience. Because like it's never gonna be perfect, but it's exactly what I needed to push me to where I am now.
Oh, we love mom. I mean,
We love
moms that take
moms.
all these adopted ducklings under their wing and they're like, yes, all my children, all
Yes.
my children out here doing big things, Yeah, no, we love that. That's so amazing. So amazing. I'm curious. So then how did you go
All
about
day.
cultivating like a career in dance? Like how, because I know like in St. Martin, there were tons of different shows that the different dance studios would put on, but I'm curious, like taking that and then bringing that to when you moved abroad, like was St. Martin a good preparation for like what you would experience in like the Netherlands?
Honestly, like I believe personally like the island has some of the best like talents when it comes especially to dance in the Caribbean, because whenever we come up here in the Netherlands or maybe Europe in general, a lot of people always like, oh my god, these dancers from St. Martin, the fire, the energy, the this, the that. And I feel like it gave me all the right tools that I needed to reach where I am now. But obviously, like as a creative on the island, you're gonna reach a specific limit, and it's your decision to want to leave and further it, or use what you have there and use it to the best extent. Because I felt like for myself, I wanted to do stuff, and being a full time creative on the island isn't at this point isn't crazy, isn't realistic. So I was like, I'm leaving, and I want to pursue a career in dance in Europe. And I came here and I took the risk, and I feel like I can say it's been paying off now, because I've been doing stuff that I really like dreamt of and that I really set my eyes out to. And I also met a lot of amazing people on the way and had like really great friends and some opportunities that I would never experience or ever like get in contact with on the island. So it did prepare me like perfectly for here. But then when you reach here, you gotta further it yourself. And this is a push like I wanna also give other like creatives who come here. Like really don't give up. It's never gonna be easy, but like you really gotta push and push and push and not give in to the comfort and not give in to the okay stability at this point, and just risk it, because you're only gonna just lose a chance if you not take the chance.
No, I feel that. I'm curious. So, like, did like events like Art Save Lives and stuff like that like greatly influence your
Yeah.
professionalism as a dancer? Because like you were, I guess, like around different choreographers from
Yeah.
different parts of the world, and just like being able to like go to LA for different activities within the dance world. I guess like did that help sort of cultivate like a foundation that made it easier to kind of acclimate to just like any dance studio no matter where it was?
Yeah, honestly, like I give all like all of everything here, all my talents and everything really goes straight to Arches Lights, because from the minute I stepped into the studios and I met Nicole and I met everyone and the teachers, I was like, is this is the life that I want. This is what I want to do. This is where I see myself in a couple years. And if I didn't go to Arches Lights, and the funniest story is I remember the like we had I think a week before the Arches Lives like sign up date was happened. The deadline was supposed to happen, and I was like, I don't want to go to this thing. Like, I was like, this is not for me, and because like I love being around people. Well, I love being around my friends, but because people see me so like extroverted with my friends, they think like that I'm like this forever and like all the time. But I honestly just like being around my friends, because like I could get really like anxious or stressed out, or my mind is like completely in a different place. But I was like, no, I'm gonna be full like around a lot of people like every day, and I don't think I could handle this yet. And my mom was like, just take it, like, just take this opportunity. Like Nicole's really great, and there's teachers coming from far. And I was like, okay, let me just do it. And then the first day I came there, I was like, wow, this is the day like my life is changing. Like this is insane. And from then, like I got to do so much amazing stuff because of Archie's lives and Nicole and the people that I met. And it 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 literally is the reason that I'm one of the main reasons that I'm the person that I am now.
People perceive you as very extroverted and you do have a lot of energy to give, but really you're a very introverted person and you really just like share your energy with the people that were like closest to you.
I love I love no matter what, like especially because of my mother, like I just love helping people and being there for people. So no matter what, like I would try to be like, okay, today let me just like calm down. And then I still be like, hey, you need any help with this? You need help with that? Like, I could help you out with your portfolio shoots, or when my friends ask me to like help them with their like resumes and stuff, I'd still go out and push myself to like help them with this part of it. So like, I love to be like limited with my energy, but then I still end up like sharing it anyway. But I feel like it's still a good thing.
I guess like how do you go like what is the lifestyle of someone that's like a dancer? Like what is the typical way that you have to condition your body and just like what is the day like when you're living the life of a dancer? Like what is that like? Like
It's actually like crazy, and for me, it's like a slightly different kind of way because like for sure, like a lot of people think it's just, oh, we get up and then you have a rehearsal and then everything's pretty and then you just go at home and stuff. But sometimes you have like intense, long hours of rehearsals and then you just do the pieces over and over depending on what kind of show it is or what kind of performance you have. Like if you have like a quick like commercial rehearsal, then you just go in, you learn choreography, and you go on set and you film it a couple times, and that's like a lot of waiting and stuff. But like it's still intense work, and everybody like gets like taken away from the glamour and oh my god, you're on TV or you're in a video, but like it's still a lot of hard work, and you have rehearsals, and then you still have to travel to places, and you still have to be fit, and you need to be training, and you always want to keep your knowledge and stuff always like sort of present and continuing with like the growth of the society and the community of like performing and everything. So you never want to just be just a good dancer, but you always want to have so much more things around. And to continue training them and molding them, you always need to be busy. And it's a forever growing sort of like art form. So you never want to like stop at just being a good dancer and just being trained one day or at the rehearsals, but you just want to go further than that. And I feel like a lot of people feel like this is such an easy, glamorous career, but it's also some like I know some dancers that work so hard, and I love to see like other dancers like shining and just being themselves.
yeah, I guess like when you went to the Netherlands, did you go there to study dance and then got into the commercial space, or was it just like a straight like you're heading straight to commercial, trying to get that money, honey, you know?
Actually, so it's like really funny because when I first wanted to leave, because when I graduated, I was like, I'm definitely like leaving on the spot. Like the same, like I remember I graduated in 2015 in July, and then I traveled, I think, to New York, and then I went to Washington for a program, and then I was like, yep, as soon as I get back, I'm leaving like on the spot. And when I came here, my intention was to study marketing and communication because, like, because of the study financing on the island, like, they didn't want to. I
Killing
wasn't
dreams,
allowed to do.
killing
Nope.
dreams.
Exactly. And we
Bro,
were
it's
like,
the
nope, you're
story
not
of
gonna
like
study it.
every Sint Maartener. Is did study financing shoot down your dreams too? Oh my
Yep.
god!
They
Like
all did. And I was like, no, I'm gonna be different. Let me try it. And they were like, nope, you're not doing it. So then I came here, and then I went to school for like maybe 4 or 5 months, and it was really good. Like I got really good grades and stuff. But I was like, this is not what I want to do at the moment. Then I really like enjoyed it and stuff, but I was like, I really want to pursue my dreams because I'm so young now. So let me just go for it. And then I think after I turned 18, I was like, nope, not forcing myself to do this anymore. So I just switched and I started to study like I started dance, and then I also like trained and stuff on the side and did my own kind of work. And now I'm here. So it's fun. It's been a fun ride, but it's definitely been difficult.
I guess, do you think that like marketing and communication helped you with your branding as a dancer and like making it like more clear from like the business side of trying to represent yourself as a dancer in like such a larger
Yeah,
country?
like I feel like um just learning about marketing in general really like taught me all the little tricks and tips that you could really help to like mold yourself. Even though I was there a couple months, it like made my interest into marketing more. Like I wanted to learn so much more about it. And to be honest, I feel like as a dancer or just as a creative in general, the best marketing anything is yourself. And like Rihanna is like she's a perfect example. Like she just walks out in her clothing, or before she drops something, she would wear it so subtly without like forcing it in your face, and it works. And it just really taught me how to be a person, to like learn how to market myself and present myself and use my own brand as like to create other parts of like I don't know, to just like enhance my personal brand. And I just love doing it. It doesn't even feel like work whenever I'm trying to like promote myself because it's something that just comes so like natural to me now.
Yeah, I mean, that's beautiful. I think like we should all be our own, biggest supporter,
Very
right? Like we
much,
have to, if
yes.
we're not wearing it, like if you work on whatever it is, if it's a product or like something that you make that's a creative piece, if you don't love it, then like it's like what's the point, right? Like
It's
what's the
exactly
point?
it's a waste of time.
What's the point? Just can't scrap that. Don't even put it out there. Just like not even worth it. But I guess like as someone that's a creative then and seeing like how competitive dance is, like how do you go about like managing your mental health and also just like your feelings of self-worth when like maybe you go to an audition and you don't feel like it was your best practice or like you just really
Yeah,
weren't in the zone that day and so like you didn't get the job that you maybe wanted that one time. Like, how do you go about handling that as part of like just part of just being a dancer and just part of the game that it is when you're going out there and trying to get all of these different roles
Rose.
and
Yeah, I
shows?
mean, for sure. Like I personally like mental health has become so much more like important to me along the years. Because at the beginning, especially when I left when I was 17, and like until I was like about 21, I really never like, especially like on the island, we don't really deal with well, it's not as common to deal with like depression and all of these regular stuff, because like when I came here is when I first found out what like depression actually was, because I was like, what is this, what am I feeling, why do I feel so weird? And yeah, like it's something that's really tough, because at the beginning I would be like, okay, if I didn't get this job or I didn't do good at this audition, like I'm such a terrible dancer and nobody wants me. And then I started to believe like there's not always like a negative reason. Like for some jobs, like maybe you just don't fit the role, but you are amazing talent, or maybe for example, like for this role you performed way more in a different energy, so like they just wanted a different kind of dancer. And sometimes it's not negative, but it's just a learning lesson. And I started to just take it in as, okay, this is a step where I could work on something or something I can improve. And from then when I started thinking in this direction, it sort of helped me with like all these little stuff in the future, as in like auditions and castings. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people try to put behind because they don't ever want to speak about their rejection and when stuff really fail. But I sort of like had to like become one with my failure so I could grow from it, because or else I would just be
Yeah.
in a cycle and just continue being upset with like not getting something or not reaching somewhere. So I just had to like really take it in. And then also with my support system and people around me, like I always want to learn from them. So whenever something goes wrong, I just talk to somebody and be like, hey, this audition wasn't as good. And or if they were there with me, because I have a lot of friends who are also like really good dancers and really good friends also, so like I would just be like, hey guys, what did you check me out at an audition? Like, what could you give me to like help me and stuff? And I'm always open to the critique. So it's just about being open minded and really pushing and having supporting yourself and knowing that you are worth it and not just because of one decision you're not.
Yeah, I definitely feel like as people that are like creative visionaries, so to speak, like there's
Yeah.
always this like you know how great you are, but like the world doesn't know you yet. So it's like constantly having to reaffirm to
Yep.
yourself what you already know to be true. And that's like this like deep just personal power that we all have that like when you're in that creative flow, it just comes out of you and it's felt
Yeah.
like on this deep, deep, deep level. But yeah, like sometimes we also need a rest, you know, and that's a part of the
Very
creative
much, very
process.
much
And
that.
like that doesn't mean that something's wrong. It's just like your body needs time to rest, get inspiration, you know,
Yeah,
just
and I
have
never
time
really gave
to
myself that time.
relax.
I
Really?
always no, I really like at the beginning of like my career, I really said like if I spend more time resting, I'm gonna lose all of this like opportunity and like I would spend days after days like barely sleeping because I was like, okay, let me learn this or let me try this and it was good in the end, but one thing I learned after like uh I came to a point about in 2021 where I really felt like okay, this is a lot and I really need to take a minute for myself and I kept pushing and pushing and pushing just trying to see how far I could push myself and eventually you're going to break and my like biggest I think the best advice for like after you feel you reach like your breaking point is to literally stop and just like look at like what you created, look at what you want to do, and start to make decisions based off of that. Because if you just continue pushing and you're like, yeah, like what did it say again? Like sleep is for the weak, and like this was my motto. Like I really was 100% for that. But after I felt myself just continuing like breaking down and not being able to like produce and not being able to work and I was like, I just need to take a break. And yeah, I took a couple of breaks and now I don't feel guilty for stopping and guilty for taking my own time to like work on my health and or my mental health in general. And it's a hard thing to do, but it's something that we have to do to really
Have
continue.
to.
Yeah.
Have to. Because then it's like it's not sustainable. Then it's
No,
like you have all this energy, you burn out, then you're, you know, you're in this crappy state, and then you beat yourself up for being in
yeah,
that crappy state because you're like, well, I don't want to be here. I need to be working. And then it
exactly.
doesn't help. It doesn't help. And if anything, it stifles your creative energy, you know, which is goes against the whole thing of what you're trying to do.
It was so sad.
But I'm curious, so like how when did you feel like you were making like your stride? Was it when you got the Victoria's Secret commercial? Cause I was like, ooh, I was like, ooh.
That was actually Hunkelmuller, but with Doutzen, the Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, that was my first like actual professional job or like where I really was seen because like I did a couple of stuff before, but like at the beginning you just get a lot of like um small little extra jobs or just stuff that you're like always in the back and stuff. And it's not that that's a bad place or whatever to be, but because you're smaller or a smaller dancer and you just started into the scene, like you need to really make your way up. And this was the first job that I was like, okay, I feel like this is okay. This is good for me. Like I feel like this is the direction I want to go. And since then, it's been a amazing ride, honestly. And I feel like, for me personally, like I always tried to like not just be booked for like just being a dancer or whatever, but because I was trained mainly like technical dance styles like ballet, jazz, modern, and stuff. Like I always try to get jobs where I could show this technique and this style, especially like as a Black Caribbean male dancer. I always want to like push this aesthetic and show people that we also exist, and it's not always this super masculine like side of it. And these couple years I've actually been doing jobs where I could show this side of it, and then still also work and get a platform to like share to other boys in my age or from the island that also have the same dream. And it's amazing. Like when I get the messages from these little kids saying, "Oh my God, you're so inspirational," and like some people that I even like look up to, they're like, "Hey, you're doing really good." I'm like, "Whoa, this confirms it." Not that I like need validation or anything,
But it
but
just feels
yeah,
good.
it
It
just feels
feels
good coming,
good.
especially because you work hard for a lot of the stuff, and people just see stuff on Instagram for like 15 seconds. They're like, "Okay, cute, bye," like continue, and I'm like it doesn't even matter about the likes, but it's like when I put something out, I don't even worry about like, oh my God, it's gonna be received because at least I put something that was real and authentic and really from me instead of just for the likes or anything that's
Yeah,
popping.
like you like it. Like
Yeah,
you
I
are a
love
fan
it.
of it. Like you're like, yes, I made that shit. If
Exactly.
y'all, fucks with it too, like
Then,
that.
then,
But
then please.
but you don't have to. But I
I mean,
already
it's
like it.
cute, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's so it's small thing, small thing. We just do it like that. No, I think that's so awesome. I definitely think like yeah, we have to be the people as the creator to love the work first. Like, because otherwise, I think people can feel when you're just making stuff just to appease other people. Because then
Yeah,
people's tastes change. Like people don't even know what they want, and if you're
exactly. You need to
changing for
honestly on
them,
Instagram,
then
you create the you make people realize what they would like to see. And if you
exactly.
post like your own work or you try to post like every trend or every challenge or whatever, and I'm not hating on it absolutely, but for me personally, I feel like if you create stuff that you love and you like and you really stand by, people are gonna love it and they're gonna start wanting doing like your stuff. And it's to me, Instagram and just posting your work and sharing stuff needs to just be seen as like, let's say like a watered down version of your like resume, and but
Mm.
not necessarily for validation and likes and follows and stuff,
It's just
because
like to showcase. It's like
yeah, just to share it
I
with the
look at it
world
as like a digital extension of your creative being. Like that's to me
of
what
your
the internet
mind, of your
that's
like
what it's
brand.
supposed to be. Like that's what
Exactly.
tech is supposed to do. It's helping you take what's up here in the mind and put it somewhere physical, and then you can share that with like
Yes.
other people. And that's why it has value, is not just because you put it up on the internet. It's that other people can look at that and gain inspiration and gain some sort of energy and
Yeah.
feel your experience and see the relativeness of their experience through you. And that is like that beautiful thing. And to me, it sucks sometimes when money like ruins that for people, because I'm
Yep.
like, babe, like it's not that deep.
It's
Like it's
literally
really not.
no.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
No, it's not.
Uh, but I know you mentioned that like your goal is to get into like production and like really building like these immersive experiences. And I know like I've seen some of like just your visual play, I will say, of like you trying to express yourself in that medium. And I'm curious, like, what kind of got you into film, or just like the visual aspect of creative expression? Because I love film. I've always loved film, and to me, like the way that we can capture and tell stories, especially like stories of us, stories of like our experience as like Caribbean people, who are like the minorities of
Yep.
the minority of the minority, being able to like share that story the way that like we do it in our own way, I think is so beautiful and so much needed in the world. So I'm curious like how you kind of got into it, and like where do you find your inspo for all that visual thing.
Honestly, like it really started out because I would be on sets for like jobs or rehearsals and stuff. And obviously like as a dancer, you would be booked to like help create the story. So like the choreographer is
Mm,
already there, you have a creative director or it's the same person. And I was like, there's some stuff on these sets and music videos and stuff that I personally wanted different or I feel would like help. But then if you're booked as a dancer, you don't really necessarily get the space to
they didn't
really
want
give
your
that.
opinion. They were
Exactly.
like, dance, bro, dance,
Exactly.
what you know.
So it's like, I was like, okay, then let me learn to create my own visuals and create my own work where I could sort of create everything. So then I started learning more about like photography, videography, editing, Photoshop. I like try to learn every part of it. And also, like, I always had an interest into it, but like I really said, okay, like, let me push myself into like learning everything. And yeah, so that was like mainly my main inspiration. But then, like, when it comes to like the stuff that I create now, it's literally how I feel. If it's not like something for like a client or whatever, more for myself, it's literally how I feel in that time. Like I would get up and be like, okay, I have an entire like video planned and the looks and whatever, but then on the day that I get up, I feel completely different from the vibe. And instead of being like, oh my God, let me still film this in the wrong energy, I would be like, let's switch it up. Because in the end of it, it's still your art. And if you could tell the message in a different way, then it's still going to be sent. You get what I mean? And yeah, that was really like, those are really like my main inspirations, just feeling my energy on those specific days. And it also like helps me being a dancer also helps me with like how I want to cut my videos because like the timing is different and the knowledge that you have for like body awareness and the
Hmm.
music and the rhythm and it just helps along with like editing your videos and also when you capture like pictures, you also want to capture a specific, or I personally go for capturing the energy of a situation or a person or the emotion and trying to enhance it with like I love Photoshop and like I live like I live for Photoshop. It's so much fun. But like being able to enhance that with like Photoshop and edits and graphic design is so like like amazing. I live for it. And to combine it all and to do it on like such a big platform would be like my ultimate dream, especially being from like the Caribbean and then like
Yeah.
having a for example like a Netflix series, bro, and like your name
Oh
is
my
there. Like
gosh.
I would feel like a
Ooh,
good wow. That's
I
sickening.
tell you, I got some ideas for Netflix. They need to wake up and go talk
Yo,
to the Sint
we also
Martiners
need like a
for we
Caribbean
all need
story.
we need a contract
Like now,
because we got
bro.
stories to tell. And like I'm like Netflix, you looking for some reality TV, you got nowhere else to look, bro.
It's
Just go to
like
St.
just
Martin.
come to us,
Just go
bro.
there. Like anything. Oh my god, can you imagine a Real Housewives of St.
Oh,
Martin? Oh my gosh, the content
would be
gold.
amazing.
The gold. I'm like, oh my
I
god,
would
our
so watch that
food,
every
our
day.
our culture, like it is so beautiful that I'm like the stories that we could tell from real estate, home improvement. We
And
got it
we have
all. We got
everything.
we got everything. Everything you could want is there and it's beautiful. Like come on now. And you have a European country. Like it's just
It's
it
so like
sells
we would work
itself.
so good, and I would love to just be a part of like being able to create that
Telling you,
story.
oh hell
Love
yeah.
it.
We gonna manifest it. We gonna
We
manifest
put it
it.
in the
Okay.
air, sprinkles.
Universe, hear us loud and proud, Netflix, okay? I know they people out there, they can hear it,
Listen to us,
but
book us.
yeah, facts. Because I'm telling you, that's low key. When I was a kid, like I wrote to Will Smith one time because I wanted to
Or
make a movie. Like I was like I had wrote this whole book, and like I was like my mom. Like kudos to my parents because they really just let me do whatever the
very
hell.
much
My
my
mom was like,
mother.
yeah, like we could do it. We could write to Will. But then they were like, boo, you're not only a minor, you're also not American, so we can't do this. And I was
Oh,
heartbroken, but it's okay. It's okay because now Netflix is here. We gonna make things happen.
we're
I
gonna
already
get it
know.
done.
I could feel it. But one thing that I love that you mentioned was that you love to learn everything a part of the creative process, and that's something that I resonate with so deeply. As someone like for me, the only reason I'm an engineer is because I love to learn. Like that's literally it. Like your
Exactly.
passion to learn stuff, I 100% relate to that. That's the only reason why I did well in school is because I was like obsessed with understanding everything and like you just speaking about that, I'm like, I so feel it because like I learn Adobe myself. Like I've been playing with it and just
Yeah,
feeling it out to like create like my own. Because for me, it's like we have these tools and their only purpose is to help you manifest what's in your mind's eye. And like we all have like these very beautiful visions of like ideas that we get to have. And it's like, how do you then put that into a medium? And like for a lot of people, they don't, the thing is like people just don't know how to do it. They don't know how to express
Yeah.
themselves. And so they end up like trying to use words, and words sometimes are very limiting
Yeah.
in their ability
And
to
you can get
express
really
that
quickly
energy.
misunderstood.
Exactly. I mean, look at the Bible. Perfect
Exactly.
example of misinterpretation. You know what I mean? Like, and being able to like learn everything and then being able to be like, okay, I know exactly what I want from all of these different dimensions. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And then you can really specify that and hone that
Yeah.
in. That is a unique skill that I don't think a lot of people have, especially in the world. Like when I go work in corporate, everything is about specialization. Like they want
Mm.
you to be good at one
Thing, yeah.
thing, then to be expert at that one thing. And for me, I'm like, okay, but that's so
Boring.
boring. I'm like, why would you? I'm like, I don't understand that. I'm like, you want me to do one thing
I
for my
want to do
entire life?
everything,
I'm
bro.
like, I want to do exactly. I'm like, and they don't get that. Like, it's like this weird thing of like, what do you mean you want to do everything? I'm like, bro, I want to do everything. I want to know all parts. I want to know how you build this thing inside and out, because then I can be like, okay, well, now that I know everything, I know this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, and this sucks. And
Exactly.
this is why that sucks. And this is how you should fix that. And here's why you should fix it, because we know what is the emotion we're trying to make people
I
feel,
support
because we are
this. My
human,
God.
because we're human. Like we know what it feels like to be human.
You should be
Why wouldn't you want
president.
to resonate that? Oh, government helps nobody. Let's not.
Not the
Okay,
truth.
like, oh, they don't like that
Nope.
out here in the streets.
Not at
They
all.
don't. They like sheeple, and we're
Yeah,
not. You
not
know,
today.
we're
Nope.
not today, boo. Not today. Not today. But no, I love like when I meet people, which is why I wanted to have you on here so badly, because I was like, here is someone that I know like he gets it, you know, and like you didn't even have to
Literally.
say it. Like your work spoke for you. I was like, this dude gets it. Like he has that vision, and I see it. And so I was like, people need to
Oh,
hear
I
from
really
you, because I'm
appreciate
like,
that.
because I feel it like when, and that's the thing that I love most about St. Martin people is like we all have this unique
It's
energy
so
that we just
crazy. Like
have.
I know so much people on the island and who came from the island are who are doing like mega amazing stuff. Like recently Junior just performed with Nicki Minaj. That's insane, bro. Like the
Amazing.
people from the island are so insane. Like and I think people let the island keep them on a specific level
Exactly.
and but the island
But
has
we're just
so
small
yeah.
islanders. We ain't got no resources.
But
Like who
look
are
at
we to
us.
be on
We're
these
literally on the
stages?
biggest stages. They're doing some of the most amazing stuff. And I don't need the like validation from the island or whatever, but it seems very much like whenever you reach a specific spot, then they want to like jump on you and stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, look at our people
And
doing
I'm
things."
like,
I'm like,
bro, you
"Oh, but
didn't
like
want to help
when I
me.
asked for the funding, you were like, screw that dream. You ain't gonna
Now that
make
I'm
it."
outside, you want to
Like,
also come outside? No. Go back inside,
it's like,
please.
boo boo. Like, keep the same
Literally.
energy you were with last time. Okay. Like, don't change up on me
Not
now.
now,
Like,
not never.
you gonna act brand new? Like, I don't know who you are, bro. Like,
Like,
relax.
stop.
Relax. Yeah, no. I mean, but it's weird because it's like on the one thing, the thing that I get jealous of America for is like the fact that they have like this audience that really like builds fan bases. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like people that are die
Yep.
hard for their people. I feel like in St. Martin we lack that. You know, we lack that sort of die hard culture for our own, which to me is so heartbreaking because I'm like, we are like so amazing. Like I honestly believe St. Martin is probably like the best Caribbean island. Like I know other
Honestly,
Caribbean islands gonna fight
I can
me.
literally agree with you. Like the island has so much talent, bro. Like it's
It like
insane.
it exudes it. Like it literally exudes talent, and it like blows my mind how ignorant they are of how talented they are. Cuz I'm like, babe, nowhere else in the world can make me
Like and
feel the
some of
way
the
that this
best people are from
place
there.
feels. Exactly. And it's like when you meet, like when St. Martin's getting together, it's there's this natural like just
And it's
bonding
just
that happens.
energy.
Like
Like
then
I know like the so much like dancers before me and like who like after my generation and stuff like they're so inspirational and I just wish we like I'm personally looking to like be able to create a space or a platform or a bridge for the people from the island to have like the resources and stuff, just to be able to also pursue their dreams. Because a lot of people also don't even have the chances to like, even share it, or so like it's
Yeah,
super sad. Like I
exactly.
just want to be able to, because I like, wow, the talent is incredible. It's incredible.
Like it makes you
Yeah,
smile.
like I
Like
was
you
thinking
can't
about it and
not.
literally smiling.
Yeah, like it's just like phenomenal. And I think like that's the thing that I always felt that St. Martin's greatest asset was its people.
Yeah,
Hands down. Like it is the people that make that place the best place to be in the entire world. That's the only place that like makes me feel something that the rest of the world is like
yeah.
lacking and so desperately in need of, which is like this energy and this love and this just like creative flow. I don't know. I feel like St. Martin's the best place. Like really and truly, I feel like it's so random. This little rock in the middle of the ocean, and all of the world is on this rock. Like that must mean
Something.
something. You know what I mean? Like it has to. Like there's no way. Like but I'm curious, like, so with this vision of like, of being a production, like, are we thinking, like, you want to put on, like, Broadway level shows? Or, like, are you thinking, like, being the creative director for, like, Kanye's next concert type of
Wow, like you
vibe?
literally just said one of my biggest dreams ever, bro. Like my one of like there's like a couple artists that I like that are on my list. Like I need to work with them in some
In this
way, and I'm
lifetime
gonna make it possible in whatever way possible.
happening.
But like I want to definitely work with Rihanna. Like when I tell you, like Rihanna
The
is the
queen. I
number
mean, come
one
on now.
inspiration, and Kanye and Rosalia, like those three creatively, I need to work with them. Like their work is
I feel
so
that.
unbelievably clean. And what I love about all three of them is like, which I really stand for or I really resonate with, is they're so unapologetically themselves, and they're so
Love
real,
it.
and they're so like relatable, and they're not trying to be anybody else. They literally do what they want, and
Yes.
their aesthetic, their brand, their whole personal everything just fits because it's an extension of them. It's not this created version of, oh, what a pop princess
Facade.
should be, or
Some marketing
exactly, they're just
concept.
real, bro. And I really resonate with those like artists. But like I really think I want to like be able to create a show, or for example just something where I can incorporate my visuals, so like filming and or my knowledge for like photography, videography, and then also like design the entire set, and then hire the dancers and hire the like create the clothing, and like I want to be a part of the entire process.
The
Like if I
whole
could have,
thing, yeah.
like if I was a singer, like I would have done it like so. But my voice is so terrible. Like shout out to all the singers, bro. Like you guys, I don't know how you do it, but I want to learn it because if I was a singer, this would have been so like amazing. But I'm gonna do it in the other scene. So, um,
I feel
but
you.
that's
I
like
feel
where I want to
you.
go
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, we gonna make it
for
happen
sure,
one way
for
or another.
sure.
I already see it. I already see it because it's like, to me, there's no point in living life if you're not gonna work on your dreams.
Exactly.
Like, what's the point? Like, there's no point. Like, it's like end it. Like, we don't. I'm like, we don't need to be doing this. Like, to me, living for our dreams is like it speaks to you. It's not work. Like it's just like it's literally you feel like it is what you're meant to do. You get excitement. You can stay up all hours of the night and you're still like
Exactly.
in that zone of like loving what you're doing. Like you're willing to be committed to it because it just feels right. And there's something that I think like speaks to us when we're in something that gives us the
Yep.
freedom in that way to do that. So no, I'm all for it. Excited to see it. I'm like, how can I help? I'm like, we gotta teamwork make the
Yeah,
dream work,
I'm gonna
is
push
how
for
I
that.
is literally what I believe. So yeah, you have to. And I'm not gonna let you give up because if in a few years I'm like, Amar, what you doing, bro? Like I thought we trying to make connects. And hey, if I meet Riri or Kanye before you, I'm gonna be like, hey, I got some peeps. I
Hey,
know you like
the
me, but
setup,
I'm
we
like,
love it. We
I got some
support it. We
peeps.
stand.
I got some peeps you gotta check out, like if you think this is cool. Cause it's funny, like when people meet me, they're like, oh my God, like you have such this great energy. I'm like, guys, I am the tip of the iceberg here. Okay. I'm like, the reason that I'm this cool is because I come from a group of people that are way cooler than me. Okay. Like you're just seeing the runoff of like all of their coolness.
But
Okay.
this is
Like,
honestly the
like
truth.
I'm an extension of just all of St.
Like
Martin's
the energy is
awesomeness. And
everything
like
everybody always says about the island.
everything.
Well, the St. Martin people, like all my friends and stuff, was like. Also, I know like a couple friends. Like I'm friends with a couple people from St. Martin, like really closely here. And whenever like I introduce them to like my Dutch friends or other like European friends and stuff, they're like, "Oh my God, I love their energy. Oh my God, they're so fun. Oh my God, they're so this." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is literally how we are, bro.
This is home. Like, what you mean, bro? I'm like, this is
We're just
life
normal."
all day, every
I just
day.
love just
Like,
good
this is just
energy and good
us.
vibes and fun and happy. Because then
Exactly.
this is when I'm comfortable and when I'm in a good space is when I could create my best stuff. And if I'm in a
Exactly.
space where I feel pressured or like negative, it's like I'm gonna force myself to
Yeah.
just create stuff for Instagram or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's never gonna be feeling real.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I mean, like you have been out there. Like I even love like you've been, exploring fashion
Yeah,
and just like playing with
love.
fabrics and playing with like aesthetics. I'm curious like how do you go about building an outfit? Like how do you think of an outfit visually? Like do you see something on Pinterest and you're like, "Ooh, I like that, but I want to pair it with this?" Or are you like looking at like the
Mm,
shows of like the different fashion
honestly,
seasons and looking at what's coming
like
out?
I've always been like low key obsessed with fashion. Like it doesn't matter like what like I always watch like VH1 and watch like ETV and like Fashion Police and watch all these like fashion shows and read.
Hit them
Yo,
roasting
and
the
the
shit
thing
out of
is
these
they really
celebrities.
have an eye. Like they have such a good eye and all these magazines since I was like 6, I would be so like obsessed with fashion and I just like always kept it as like a love of mine. But like in the last couple of years, I was like, whoa, I really want to like try different silhouettes and try different visuals and aesthetics and also like just try to like take walks on the spectrum of like masculinity and femininity. Cause like for example, a couple of years ago, I would always be like, oh, let me just try to wear a crop top. But like not even because it was like this super weird thing or anything, but I was like, I just like the
Yeah.
fit. And
I think it's weird that clothes have gender.
honestly,
Like I
like,
never
yeah,
understood
why?
that. I'm like clothes are functional. Like I'm like
I
why are
literally
we
wear
putting
anything.
on our shit onto clothes? I'm like can we not? Like can we not? Like I don't
But
understand
honestly,
that.
it's also in I give like mega credits to like my friends for making me feel like comfortable in trying new stuff also because like for example,
Mm.
one of my friends, Jelani, like he
He out
like
there. I
he
love to
does
see it.
and the thing is I feel
Killing
like a
it.
lot of people would be like, oh yeah, he's like doing this. He literally would like get up and then create an outfit and then I'd be like, what bro? Like this is amazing. But like we just really like support each other in like wanting to try new stuff and expressing ourselves differently. And I just love it because I get so inspired by
I
them.
love
We
it.
inspire each other, and I
Yeah.
literally feel like we live in like because we're always by each other. Like it feels like we're just creating content for ourselves, and the world happens to be blessed to see it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just so much
Just
fun.
sharing your
I just love
blessings,
trying new stuff
just,
and creating visuals with them, and it's so much
no,
fun.
so awesome. No, it looks awesome. Like, honestly, I'm like, can I come to the Netherlands just to hang out with y'all?
Oh,
Because, like, y'all just seem like y'all be having, like, the best time. I'm like, I want to go to Pride
oh,
NL
that's
with
so
y'all. Like, y'all,
sweet.
I'm like, Johnny look like he be
That
twerking
was
and shit. I'm like,
actually
yes,
Pride
boo,
in that
go
was
off.
amazing. That was the first time like I experienced it like working. It was one of the most intense weeks this year cuz this year for Pride I was booked as a dancer for the main stage. I was also booked as a photographer at the W Hotel and then I also had like help producing and stuff for a boat. So like they have the Pride Canal boat parade. So I created the designs and stuff for this boat and I helped out with this boat and Like I was literally
Wow.
taking pictures at the hotel and then running to the stage and then running here and then, but it was the rush of it. It was so amazing, and also to just be able to do it as a like me being from the Caribbean, bro, and then also just so grateful for like Andrew. He's also from St. Martin, and he like got the opportunity to have three St. Martin dancers on the Pride.
It
It's
was
amazing.
amazing.
Like shout out to him,
Amazing.
shout out to everybody.
Breaking
It was such an
ceilings,
amazing
you
experience.
know, just out here. No, that was so awesome. Like, honestly, you guys look like you were having
I
the
literally
time
felt
of
like
your life.
Beyonce, bro. Like it
I
was
mean, of
such
course, queen energy all day, every
it was
day.
so much fun to
Like,
just share and be there.
alien
Yes,
superstars
I'm
out
one of one.
here, you know? Like all of us that's out here stunting on the world. No, it's awesome. Like I love to see you guys just expressing yourselves because honestly, like when you see people that authentically just give no fucks about
This
like because
the
growing up in St.
motto.
Martin, people are
Very
mean.
much. Very
People are
much.
mean. Especially about guys that express any sort of femininity. Like they will
They're
roast
like,
you
no,
and
I don't get it.
really out of
Okay, so let's just be
ignorance.
disrespectful. And I'm like, what, bro?
Yeah, let's just be disrespectful. But to see that you guys like were able to just not let that stop you from expressing yourself is so beautiful to see because like even though I'm so far away from where it's all happening, it like influences me. I'm like, hell yeah, like I want my outfits to look as freaking dope
I
as
know,
John.
right?
You know
I
what I
just
mean?
love that.
I'm like, I want to rock. I'm like, he's rocking
Yo, I
weave like
know,
a whole
right?
top. I'm
He's it's,
like,
and people don't get it. Like it's so insane. It's like we just and the funniest, like let me the biggest joke of this entire thing is, I feel like people would be like, "Wow, these outfits," and we literally would get up and be like, "Okay, cool, we're gonna wear," or he would be like, "I'm gonna wear hair as a top," and we're outside, and I'm like, mind blown, bro.
killing it.
This is sick.
Killing it. Concept. I'm like killing it. Like would live for the day though that we can have pride in
Yo,
St.
we were
Martin.
like,
That
we
would
want
be
to
amazing. I mean, like
definitely do that.
Carnival is already like we have the skills for costume. We have the skills for this like
I
flamboyant
would love to be a
expression
part of
of
that.
self and then the music. Oh my gosh. Like and I'm like what better place than St. Martin
It's
for
gonna
something like
take
that? Like
years, but
don't
we're
get me
gonna
wrong,
make it possible, bro.
we gotta deal with
A
some
lot of
ignorance.
ignorance.
Yes, we have to. I think we need to have some deep communal
If you could
discussions.
like literally see, if they could see how I was like eye rolling now. Wow, bro.
You know, we maybe should separate church
But
and
they don't get it
state. You
yet.
know,
They don't get it
just
yet.
small things, you know. But I mean like I'm like I just to me like it breaks my heart as a kid to not be able to see people feel
Yep.
comfortable to be really 100% their authentic self on the island and like to see that we had to go abroad to sort of have that freedom to just accept
Yeah.
who we were even then. And you know, I agree. I do think there is a bit of a ways to go, unfortunately. But I think like with our generation, there's like
Nope.
no fucks given.
Everybody's
Like
so much
I think
themselves
like
now.
we're just like yeah, you're like you're either gonna
Or
accept it boo
that's your
boo or
problem.
like get on the next train. Like just don't even talk to me. We have boundaries here. Like you can take that negative stank energy and look at it elsewhere. Cause let's be real, you just
Exactly.
jealous. Like we know
I don't
it.
I honestly
We
don't
know
understand the
you wish
hate.
you were having as much fun as us. I think it's jealousy. I think hate really is like insecurity, ignorance, and jealousy all wrapped into one. It's like you're only angry when like you feel like there's something like it's an internal problem. Like if you're angry, that's a reflection of something that
Yeah.
triggered your ego, which I think you should do some reflection, boo boo. You know,
Period.
like go to therapy, do what you need to do. You know what I mean? But I'm like, whining is in like our blood. Like I'm
All
like,
day,
what do you
every
mean?
day.
I'm like, come on now,
And it's
come
crazy
on
because I
now. I'm like, this would
honestly
be
didn't realize,
fantastic.
like, obviously, like whining and stuff. Like, I would create like because I teach also like the classes here and workshops, and when I create my choreographies and stuff, I would like not realize how much of like the hip movements and stuff or whatever would be so like inspired by just how we move on the island.
Oh hell
And
yeah.
like,
I'm telling you, Baby Boy was my wine
yo,
anthem. Like,
that is yo, that shit is literally my song, bro. That is my song.
bro, yeah, hands down, Sean
Like
Paul for
that, you have
life.
to see
Like,
me whenever I listen to Baby Boy. Like I feel like I'm wow,
I'm telling you, the hips just move. It's
mood,
like a natural
such a
reaction. I
mood.
can't not, they just move. I can't even not move them. Like, natural things, natural phenomenon. Yo, like insane. But I think we will get there. I think we will get there. I think a lot of it is just awareness, And I mean, our people need some mental health therapies,
I
We
mean,
definitely could use it.
there's
But
some
I
really
think,
good, like for
we'll get
example,
there.
there's this Safe SXM organization. No, there's it's like also a step, and
Yeah.
the fact that it's being done, and the fact that it's like actually like I wish I could have done so much more, but like I feel like just them being existing is already such a huge step because then at least people are starting to know we're also a part of the world. We're also a part of the island. We're also so much more than just a flag or whatever you consider us. And
Yeah, like you're a human
exactly,
experience that shouldn't be suppressed. Essentially, like we're not converting
exactly, we're
people.
not
Okay, we're
doing
not like
that,
the
bro.
Jehovah Witnesses
But that's
out in the
accepted.
street. Like we're just out here being ourselves, like experiencing love, sharing love. Like why is that ever wrong? I
Honestly,
don't
like I
understand that.
wish I could
Like
just
love
share it
is
all day, like for everybody to
everything.
just see it, for everybody to just get it. It's also normal. Everybody's also normal. We just want to, like, bro, we just want to live. Everybody's has this
Yeah, have
exactly,
fun.
and that's also like what I was saying about the Amsterdam Pride. Everybody's like, a lot of people see it like as, oh yeah, we just performed on a stage and oh it was a bunch of parties and stuff, but it's still a protest and it's still us trying to get
It's
seen,
standing
heard,
up, saying
respected.
you're not gonna
Exactly.
silence us.
And
Exactly. Like we're
just
here
being able to
too.
also just being like black people on these platforms and going to these events and just being able to be seen and heard and just to share our messages and stuff, it's so much more than just the fun and the party.
Important.
And I love that like I
Yeah.
was a part of
Yeah.
that and being able to like just get it out there and create awareness and just fight for it.
Yeah. I mean, it needs to be fought for. I think like it's ridiculous that people don't think that their lives are even worth living
Exactly.
just because of who they love. You know what I mean? Like to me that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm like if it was
Nope.
wrong and you wouldn't even feel it, right? Like if it was not meant to be, right? If humans weren't meant to feel that way, then why do we feel it? You know what I mean? Like some people just need to loosen their knee
Literally.
and have some fun.
Mood.
Have some fun.
I live for you.
Uh yeah, I mean, if they would, they'd realize they could, experience a lot of great
But
things.
hey, we have a
That's
good
all I'm
eye.
saying.
So I believe like just to
Why
go
limit
further and further.
yourself? Exactly, exactly. But I guess like as someone that's like cultivated this journey of like walking in your own shoes, going down this path, being a creative in a world that's like, I think now, at least for creatives, there's more platforms to make it easier to sort of monetize like your expression. What advice would you just have for like the young St. Martiners or just like the young people that are also minorities or just like unsure of themselves and they're like, oh, like, like I maybe have more taste that people are gonna deem as more feminine or like, but I also like have these like it's all this like weird
Yeah.
pulling and pushing of our identities and self. Like how do you go about just giving them advice on like how to just hone in on who they are and just not give up on that, not compromise, especially when the world is constantly going to try to tell you
Yeah.
to give up on your dreams, to change who you are, to be different than like what in your soul is like
Yeah,
who
like
you're meant to be.
um recently like I've been hearing a lot about a lot of people like praising like me being very much myself and the connections I have with my friends and honestly I feel like it's always easier more like easy to say it than just like try it or do it whatever because everybody's like yeah just be yourself and be this, but honestly how are you going to be yourself if you don't know who you are? So honestly I feel like you should just first of all go deep inside, figure out what you want to do, the people you want to be around, you need to know how to set your boundaries. A friend of mine's Laura taught me very much about boundaries. Like you really need to know how to set your boundaries because that's also very much like a part of it. And like you really need to find out who you are, and then when you find that part of yourself you can definitely like share it with the world because then people feel the realness, people feel the authenticity of it, people see you being unapologetically you and just being so happy in your truth. And I'm so glad that the friends I have also like express this to like a crazy extent, because we're all about just being us and then being able to just like share that. And it's all like, I always want to like share good vibes and good energy and love and good spirits, because I know like I've I've dealt with the hard parts of it, and it's the world. Like, it's real, it's gonna come, but like, create your good support system, pick your friends wisely, find out where you want to give your energy properly, because like, you could also get a lot of bad energy from wasting your time and pushing yourself into places that you don't need to be into. But like, for the young ones on the island and stuff, like, get your knowledge up, figure out where you want to go, and you can always come back to the island, but the island has a limit, and I would never want the limit from the island to stop you and make you believe like, okay, this is where I end, let me try something else because it's not working. Like, if you have the opportunity to leave, like, get out of there, do what you got to do. You can always visit. Like, if you feel like, okay, I don't have the resources to leave the island, like, we could like, I want to be able to create something on the island where the people who don't have the resources to leave can still get the training there, can still get the knowledge, can still build up what they need to build up. Because some people leave like after an amount of time and stuff, but like, they don't really get told about the real world when it comes to the creative side up here, or not in the Europe in general, but like, in the world, they just get told, like, you just get told, okay, you have to have a resume, a headshot, but like, you need different headshots for different bookings. You need to know how to present yourself to different people. You need to know how to network. Like, networking is number one. Like, I remember before I
Gee,
would hear networking, I'm like, I don't like talking to people. Like, nope, we're outside. I'm not doing it.
yeah.
But then, like, after going to so much events and realizing, like, most of my biggest stuff now came from just networking and just speaking to people. And energy is real, bro. Like, I feel like when you're in person, the energy just needs to
You
radiate.
feel
Like, I'm a
it.
terrible, terrible, terrible
Yeah.
texter. Like, sorry, guys. But my energy, I feel, is amazing. And I feel like I always share good energy with everyone.
You're like, you gotta
You
be
need
in
to get this
person to
energy. I
get
just want to
it,
share all of this
okay?
like pink energy with everybody.
We love it. No. I definitely important. I don't think like virtual is cute and all, but like you're right. You gotta it's that in
But still
person
being able to do
real
the
thing.
online
Like
stuff,
that's what
still
we
being able
live
to write those
for.
emails and
Yeah, of
be able
course,
to contact
balance.
and being professional
Balance,
and
you know.
being an entrepreneur, actually. Like, you really need to know how to sell yourself. Like, I recently watched this show and I was like, I think one of the judges asked the contestant like, "Oh, what's your USP? No, what's your like, yeah, what's your unique selling point?" And he was like, yeah, energy. It goes up and down." And I'm like, "Oh, he didn't get the question." But like, there's these little things like you need to know for yourself, and I want to be able to like just create like this package for the young creators on the island, so they could just get and understand like, you could have the talent, you could have the good energy, you could have it all, but when you get into the room, you need to know how to stay in the room. You need to know how to climb the ladder. You need to know how to be professional, but still give 100% of your like creativity, and not. You still need to also be marketable. You need to be able to just sell yourself, but not be this product of somebody else, and also just be able to fit into like, or not even only fit in, but create space for the people that aren't able to just like sweep into a room and just be able to. I don't know. I feel like this inclusivity has never been a new thing for me. It's like, I've always had this for everybody. Like, I just love to be surrounded by people that I grew up around and saw, and I feel like being able to do the stuff that I did and a couple of my friends did, and knowing that we're from the Caribbean, that it inspires so much other people, and I never want to let that go.